This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
In recent days, there has been a lot of talk about the political future of the Progressive Liberal Party and who could emerge as leader. Many have also asked whether the Right Honorable Perry Christie will stay on as leader. Our Clint Watson put those questions to Mr. Christie in a ZNS News exclusive.
Everyone is saying this is the time when I have to indicate what I'd want to do.
And with this crucial decision to make, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie has begun the process of determining whether his legacy and work as the country's third Prime Minister will come to an end, or will he be asked to continue his work. There are two determining factors Mr. Christie is looking at. On one hand,
yes, I have put 41 consecutive years in public life, and it's a long time. And, I feel that I have the energy and the ability to continue with new ideas.
But on the other hand, he's aware of the energy within his camp and the anxiousness by some and desire by others to take the political leadership reins from him. He in particular referred to three of them aspiring to the high office: his Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis, Tourism Minister Obi Wolchcombe, and Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell, all expressing interest in the job.
We have a deep bench, and the one thing that I'm satisfied with is that there are any number of persons with the capacity to replace me and continue effectively in the governance of our country.
So with two clearly distinct options in front of him, whether to stay or go, the decision boils down to this.
In the end of the day, the decision will be one made by the PLP family and one made by me.
And having made that declaration, it now puts the October PLP National Convention into the spotlight as perhaps the main event in politics this year, one that could become a turning point moment in political history. But one thing Prime Minister Christie says is for sure: he won't force his way back in.
I would only want to stay there, period, full stop, if it was with the full support of colleagues, because, I'm a part of them. And that means I'm a part of their future as well. We don't have to be acrimonious and adversarial in this. We have to be very calm and considered and take into consideration the best interests of the people of the country.
And so, as the political pundits, the commentators, the players, and analysts line up to cast their views on the issue, the Prime Minister is sending this message to all of them.
Whether they like me or they don't like me, or they think I should go or they think I should stay, tell them that that decision will be made, and it will be made collectively by the Progressive Liberal Party, functioning as the party that it is today. And I have no doubt whatsoever the decision will be the right decision.
Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
Accused murderer Donna Vasily will stand trial this September. Vasily is charged with the March 2015 killing of her husband, podiatrist Dr. Philip Vasily. During the hearing, Senior Justice Stephen Isaacs allowed defense attorneys Muriel Ducille and Queen's Counsel Elliot Lockhart to suggest dates for the start of trial due to what he described as the time sensitivity of the case. After some discussion with Crown Prosecutor Neil Brathwaite, a start date of September 7, 2015 was agreed. Ducille also gave informal notice to the prosecution of Vasily's intention to reapply for bail. Senior Justice Stephen Isaacs set the reapplication hearing for next Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. A mistrial has been declared in the murder trial of Tristan DeVoe and Judson Mackey. The decision by Justice Carolina Baffo comes after an outburst during Friday's proceedings, with Tristan DeVoe stood up and stated that he did not believe he would get a fair trial. His co-defendant Judson Mackey then rose and pointed out a juror who he accused of being a relative of the deceased. During this morning's proceedings, Justice Carolina Baffo declared a mistrial, stating that the defendant's actions could be perceived as intimidation. The two are accused of killing Shanrio DeVoe 2 years ago. The matter was adjourned until July 17th, when a new trial date will be set.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News Monday. I'm Altaviz Munnings. AML Foods Limited, the company that operates Solomon's, Cost Right, Solomon's Fresh Market, Domino's, and Carl's Jr., earned a net profit of $1.47 million for the quarter ending April 30th, compared to $1.5 million for the same period last year. Sales were down, though, by 1.6%, totaling $34.8 million. In his report, Chairman Dionisio de Aguilar noted that the company has seen a noticeable impact on sales volumes since the introduction of value-added tax. He also noted that customers say pricing is very important and the company continues to drive value for all Bahamians. The government has retained the services of the University of West Indies consultancy firm to assist in reviewing legislation impacting the establishment of a standards bureau. Consultant Combe Halloran met with the Bureau of Standards and all relevant industry stakeholders and will review the Standard, Consumer Protection, and Weights and Measures Acts to ensure compliance with international best practices and the World Trade Organization's technical barriers to trade agreement. Mr. Halloran paid a courtesy call on the Minister of Financial Services, who is responsible for the Bureau of Standards, the Honorable Hope Strawn, last week. And in international business news, stocks markets in Europe and the U.S. have fallen after Greece closed its banks and imposed capital controls. The moves by the Greek authorities came after the European Central Bank decided not to extend emergency funding. Meanwhile, European Commission Chief Jean-Claude Juncker says he feels, quote, betrayed by the, quote, egotism shown by Greece in the failed debt talks. That's been your Royal Fidelity Business News Monday. I'm Altaviz Munnings.
The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas is hoping to tap into the younger radio demographic with the relaunch of Power 104.5 FM on Grand Bahama this morning. General Manager Diana Swan says it signals the launch of the new educational, informative, and entertaining tool that will influence present and future generations of Bahamians. Executive Chairman of the corporation, Reverend Dr. William Thompson, says he is excited about the station's relaunch under the FM bandwidth.
Beyond the wonderful music and exciting programs geared to capture the imagination of our younger market, this added FM dynamic will create employment opportunities and serve as an inspiration for progressive thinking listeners.
Under my board's direction, ZNS programming will continue to become more exciting and relevant to the needs of the public. We will also seek to promote as far as humanly possible our local talent. As chair, I am on a mission to make ZNS better. My goal is to once again make ZNS radio and television the undisputed broadcast leader in the Bahamas.
Minister of National Security and Minister with responsibility for broadcasting, the Honorable Dr. Bernard Nottage, says today marks the dawn of a new age for the corporation. He says it signals the start of one of many transformations set to take place at the Northern Service. Nottage says the relaunch will strategically plan to capitalize on any economic growth in Freeport and the Northern Bahamas.
It is also an indication of the many innovations that are underway at the Northern Service and in New Providence, as the corporation seeks to carry out its mission that promises to inform, educate, and entertain our peoples throughout the length and breadth of our archipelago. The new emphasis for the Northern Service will therefore be on programming activities and enhancing the corporation's revenue base. The aim of New Power 104.5 will be on capturing an audience that is young and young at heart, thereby attracting among its listeners a growing, vibrant, free-spirited, and educated populace in the northern region.
With the mandate to meet the needs of Bahamian farmers across the country, officers from the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute plan to visit the southern Bahamas this summer. Their first stop was Crooked Island. BAMSI officials spent 2 days there to share information on the Associate Farmers Program. Participants learned about farm management, including budget analysis and business organization.